is time for a Reiki Shoden online study. It is the first class and no one's here yet, so we're just going to kind of wait for a couple of minutes. I was going to say I have a couple of my canines that are now Shoden, which are the first degree. I have a couple of dogs that are more elevated. I've got a second degree and a Reiki master. Yes, Jackson is a Reiki master. He's been attuned to those levels, and at some point, I will attune him to Imara Reiki. Imara is another form of Reiki, but it requires that you are a Reiki master. And Karis is working towards that. He's still a little bit what I would call not reckless. He's not quite ready for the Reiki master yet. He's working on his energy and how to balance that. And yeah, today I was gone for like not even 10 minutes, and yeah, he kind of wrecked things in my house. I was like, really, boo? Not a cool thing to do. But let's start with just a simple Reiki meditation. And it's really super easy. Everybody can do this. They don't have to be Reiki attuned. So if you are someone that's joining in tonight and you're not attuned to Reiki, you can still utilize these meditations. You're just not attuned, so it's at a lesser degree. It was really interesting. Many years ago, I had read a book by Richard Gerber, and it's on energy healing. And I really recommend the audio book, because when you do the audio book, it's got a bonus with some good heart chakra meditations on there. But what he was talking about was that he did a lot of experimentation with energy healing and Reiki. And he did a study where he had people that were not attuned to Reiki and people that were attuned to Reiki. And he said that both were conduits of energy. Both parties were conduits of energy, but as being attuned to Reiki, that their ability, I guess, to be a conduit of healing was much more significant. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that's why in this I'm saying for what we're teaching tonight, anybody can do that. You don't have to be attuned, but I recommend for everybody to get attuned to Reiki. To me, I call it CPR for the soul. It's a great way for you to practice some good self-care. But the first meditation that we're going to practice here is called Gasso, and it's bringing the hands together. Some people will do Gasso like this. Some people will do Gasso like this. Whichever way is more comfortable for your wrist. Just take a nice deep breath in and then blow it out slowly. Think of this as almost like the Namaste, the divine in me greeting the divine in you. This is when we need a moment to regroup. Boom, we can do Gasso. When we want to give thanks to someone. Hello, Patty. Can you hear me better now? When you want to give thanks to someone, greeting to someone, you can use the Gasso. But for me, I like to think of it as a way to get back into a point of alignment, focus, and direction. Alignment, focus, and direction. And when you're feeling at a place of peace and balance, go ahead and set your hands back into your lap. Some people like to put them face up, as in to receive. Gaso. One of the things that I think that is very important to do in Reiki is to disconnect from external. Reiki is something that we work from the inside out, and to disconnect from all the external things is very important. We're going to learn a simple version of Kanyokaho, and that is what was originally practiced. And essentially, you're holding your arms out. You'll take your right hand, start at your left shoulder, and bring it down that left arm. And when you hit the fingertips, ha. It's important to breathe that ha out with great force. You're disconnecting. So all of those little cords that are holding on to us, that are so tight in our energetic field, we're disconnecting them. Ha! And take your left hand to the top of the right, bringing it down. Ha! That force, you want to use that force, that breath, pushing it out, releasing bondage, nonsense, politics, religion, social, road rage, whatever. And then back to the left arm. Ha! And hands back into the lap area. Kanyokaho, that's the simple version. A longer version that we'll learn in another session will go down the body. But this one, what we're doing today, is just the very simple disconnect between tasks. Leaving Walmart. Interactions that maybe not be so positive. It's always good to disconnect. If you're working in something where you're seeing a lot of different clients and you're going from client to a next session, so if you're doing appointments, whether you are a therapist, in healthcare, attorney, CPA, especially during tax time, you always want to think about disconnecting that energy between people, between interactions, between places, so that you're not carrying those little fragments with you. I like to think of it as, and I want to give you my full attention. So when I make a choice to disconnect in between my clients, I'm not carrying over any energy, ties, whatever, from one person to another person. And that way you can keep your interactions with people, your sessions, whatever you want to refer to it as, your connection, as being focused on that person or on that situation, as opposed to carrying something around all day. I found that when I worked in healthcare, when I was a nurse, it was really important to do that, because if you had a lot of turmoil, like healthcare turmoil going on in a patient room, I didn't want to bring that energy or that frustration or whatever into the next patient room. I'm thinking, especially when I worked in trauma, trauma has a lot of wild, crazy energy in there, and that dry bathing was a fantastic way not to bring trauma from room to room to room. And then I just carried that practice in when I started working in private practice with Reiki. So kind of think of it along that lines of that the dry bathing allows us to disconnect and then be 100% whole in with our next interaction, our next person. This time of year, it's just a lot of energy out there. Some people carry really beautiful energy. They know how to keep it calm and balanced, and then other people, well, they just have difficulties with that, managing that. I totally understand it. I've been there on both sides, and I find that the dry bathing was a fantastic way for me to disconnect from that minutia. So that gosso allows us that focus, this dry bathing. Remember the ha, ha, ha. When I breathe the ha to release, that is what is allowing us now to be within that focus, within that direction, disconnected from distractions, so that we can begin the next meditation. And you're like, these meditations, when we talk about Reiki and we talk about daily self-care, it's not always, about doing hand placements. Simple meditations can connect you and keep you in that flow and keep that, what I call it, kind of keep it fresh. A lot of times people will let Reiki go to the side, and they just notice that they're feeling uncomfortable, or they've got, just so much stuff going on. They felt really overwhelmed. And I'm like, are you doing your daily Reikis? And they'll look at me and they go, well, no. And I'm like, there's real simple meditations, guys, that we can do to keep that energy flowing. And Gassel, focus and direct, get us back into focus. We've got Kenyokoho, or the dry bathing, that we can disconnect from minutia. And now we're going to start with the Joshin. And I love Joshin. Joshin is, you can do this anywhere, and I've noticed that I've done it like when I'm on public transportation. It's a little easier to do it when you're not driving. And I went to New Orleans, and I had not been on an airplane in a while. I normally drive everywhere. And I noticed that it was like when I'm sitting there in the airline, or in the seat on the airplane, I noticed that I was automatically going into Joshin. So Joshin to me is very, very beautiful. You can do it for a couple of minutes. You can bring it out to 30 minutes. Whatever works for you. Now, a lot of times people will say, Maris, I can't sit there for 30 minutes. My mind is going everywhere. And I'm like, focus on your breathing, because that is exactly what Joshin is about. It is about focusing on your breathing. And what we're doing in this particular meditation is that as we are relaxing with the breathing, we will begin breathing Reiki in. And remember, Reiki means universal life force. So we're going, or chi, whatever you want to call it, prana. So you're breathing in that Reiki, and you're letting it permeate through your whole body. So you're taking it all the way to your toes, top of the head, into the fingertips, filling up your whole torso, your body. Now, for visualization assistance only, it is not a Reiki principle when I say this, but I like to give Reiki when I'm doing Joshin. I like to give Reiki a color. When my son was younger and he was started working in retail, he was a teenager and he was starting to work in retail. And, you know, people in retail aren't always very nice. Sometimes they're kind of mean coming in. And he would say, Mom, when they're angry, I just use my Reiki and I look at them and I fill them with like goo. And that goo, and I'm like, goo? He goes, yeah, it's like when I'm looking at them and I'm breathing in and I breathe out. When I breathe out, I'm filling them up with a pink goo. So he gave Reiki the color pink. So not only was he breathing it in for himself, but then he was also sharing it with that person to diffuse whatever situation was going on. So for this purpose, let's give Reiki the color pink. You know, think about rose quartz pink. You know, what is rose quartz? Rose quartz is about love. And Reiki, you know, one of the main tenets of Reiki is about love. So let's give that color of Reiki for Joshin pink. So y'all sit comfortably in your seat. I have been known to lay down and do this, but, you know, it's not conducive right now for me to lay down. But if you want to lay down, lay down. If you're laying down, I want you to put your palms up, you know, where your palms are facing up. If you're not laying down, I want you to just place your palms in your lap, face up, feet on the floor. You want to be connected with Mother Earth. And let's take 3 cleansing breaths to begin. Releasing distraction, thinking only about our breathing. And we now begin Joshin. Breathing in Reiki, visualize it pink. And maybe that first breath isn't filling up the space, but with each breath following, that pink is much more prevalent, that Reiki is prevalent. Coming in. Just be in that moment. Take note of how you're feeling. Are you feeling a sense of peace? Joshin, Joshin, Joshin. like to listen in the silence if I'm not playing meditation music behind me. Whether it's my own simple breathing that I hear, or the sounds around me. It's Benny, he likes to participate. The Reiki dogs are in here. They're really enjoying that energy. They like meditations. They like the Shoden. Now we're going to kind of slide in to the next meditation. The next meditation is the Seishin Toitsu. And in this one, we're going to be incorporating all that Reiki that we were just bringing in and filling our body up with and allowing it to build up from the head all the way to the toes and the fingertips. Now we're going to take that Reiki and we're going to start moving it through our hands. We now begin Seishin Toitsu, connecting in with the world around us. And in Shoden, we're bringing it in. And in Seishin, we are moving that energy keep allowing it to flow. Allow it to flow. Allow it to flow. Now, hands are kind of itchy. That is your hibiki. Remember that word, hibiki. Hibiki lets you know where energy needs to flow. We can use these techniques to clear our space. So it's allowing us to connect in more intensely, more deeply. Seishin Doitsu. Allow that energy to flow. So you filled your own space with the Joshin, and now we are filling the space around us. Connecting in with that environment. Allowing that energy to flow. Taking off some. Okay, so now let's take this energy that's flowing and let's bring it in and condense it really small and begin making our energy ball. Energy, and then take that ball, condense it down again. Keep rolling it and rolling it. Condense it down again. Now I want you to hold it for just a moment and throw it. Bringing hands to Gasso. And then laying your hands down on your lap, palms up. And now our meditations are complete. In the first degree Reiki, it's really important that you do your daily self-care. Daily self-care, again, let me reiterate, doesn't always have to mean, here we go again, hand placements. It can be something so simple as a Gasso for a couple of moments, connecting yourself in You can use the tools that you learned tonight, such as Joshin and Seishin Toitsu. You can use those to do your daily Reiki to connect. One of the things that I really like to do is I like to make note afterwards. So a lot of times I'll have pen and paper around, and I like to make note of anything that came to my mind during those meditations. Often, those memories, thoughts, loop thoughts, whatever that come up to the surface are things that we are working on or that we can be working on. Our higher consciousness, our higher self has brought forth for us to work on to either resolve or release. Sometimes it might even be things to celebrate. Meditations aren't always about what we have to fix. Sometimes meditations, not medications, meditations are going to celebrate what we are experiencing or what we have experienced. And so, with that in mind, the meditations can allow us to see a little bit more about ourselves through doing that. What I recommend for you to do, so for those of you that are wanting to do this for a certification, yes, there's homework. Um, in order for you to be truly certified in something, you have to demonstrate that you have capability, ability, understanding in what you're being certified for. So if you are looking for certification in Shoden, there is homework. And so your first homework assignment is a Reiki 21-day challenge. So pretty much on a piece of paper, you're going to put the date, if you performed self-Reiki, and what you experienced. And you'll keep this journal for 21 days. I recommend doing that because I'm just going to say you always want to create, when you're working on your own healing, your own self-healing through there, you want to create some sort of paper trail that demonstrates what you did or details what you have done, and then also what the results are, because often we don't think that things have changed until we sit down and start looking at the notes and we're like, whoa, yes, uh, things have changed. My health has improved. My blood sugar stabilized. My blood pressure dropped down into a normal range. Hey, I haven't been nauseated in 5 days. There's a lot of things. Or maybe I wake up every morning with a smile on my face. There's many things that we don't even recognize until we start feeling better, or until we start feeling better, where we start having an alignment going on. My dad had made a comment to me one time, many moons, probably about 30 years ago, and he said he never realized how bad he felt until he started feeling good. And when you're doing these logs, when you're keeping a record of your self Reiki, you will find that you're going to start feeling really good. And you might have that epitome of, I didn't realize how bad I was feeling until I started feeling good. So that's why I like to do Reiki. Reiki helps me stay balanced, and I like to teach balance to people. That first degree, Reiki Shoden, the CPR for the soul, that's what it is. A CPR for the soul. It allows you to be in control of your own healing. It allows you to be the navigator of your journey, that you don't feel so lost or out of touch, or what I would say, kind of in essence, a sense of being out of control. And that doesn't mean that you're like all over the place freaking out. It can be that you're really super lost in your day-to-day movement and you don't know where you're going, where you want to go, what you want to do. And for me, I look at that as an energetic imbalance. And when you start doing Reiki and incorporating energy balancing in to your daily routine, you will find that things are a little bit easier. That even when travesty comes and knocks on your door, you're able to work through it, or smooth through it without as many complications as you did maybe a year ago. So Reiki is very, very helpful in those techniques. Does anybody have any questions about the meditations that we learned tonight? Any questions? Okay, I'm not seeing any questions coming up in the comments. So I'm going to assume that you have reached an understanding on how to perform the gassel, the dry breathing. Don't forget the ha, 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 ha. Is very important. You want to release, disconnect. The Joshin coming in, filling up your space, and then Seishin Toitsu, where you are able to take that energy that you are so bountiful with and start exchanging it with the environment, Mother Earth, Gaia, whatever the universe, being a part of that universal life force. Reiki is very, very simple to do. A good challenge if you're having a hard time putting Reiki into a daily routine is that, so tomorrow or the next time you're out on the road, every red light, I want you to put your hands in Gassel and just say Reiki on. And allow that Reiki to flow through you. Allow it to fill your space. Allow it to fill, when you're in your car, allow it to fill your car. Feel that Reiki. Connect in with it. Connect in with universal life force. And allow it to start helping you make the positive changes in your life that you are looking for. So I hope you enjoyed this evening's first workshop in the Reiki Shoden. From this point forward, we will be meeting up in a Google Meet room. So if you are wanting to be in these online workshops, I'm not asking for any fees. You're always welcome to donate. I'm not charging any fees for it. If you do want to do the certification where you are certified through IAOTH, where I'm certified through, and I am a certification location, that I do have an extra fee for that. And you are required to do homework, and you are required to come to the classes. I've had a couple of people that didn't want to come to class, and it's important that you are able to demonstrate the ability to do Reiki. And I know that sounds kind of strange, but it is also really important that you have the ability to discuss, to discern, to work, to talk about Reiki. One of the things that I remember one time when I was interviewing for people to come practice Reiki at Oklahoma Healing Connection was that there were several people that told me that they were Reiki second degree, which is the Okaden, or they would tell me that they were Reiki masters, and they didn't even know the symbols. If you're thinking about going into second and third degree, you gotta have a really good relationship with the symbols. And to get that really good relationship with the symbols, it's really important that you start your Reiki daily journey. Do that every day. Reiki on. That's all you have to say. Now, in closing, there is something that I would like to do, is what is called the Jumon, Jumon, and no, but thank you. It helps me feel connected. Okay. In the Jumon, those are the symbols, and so we have a with the symbols, that is a second degree, but the symbols are what you are given in your first degree attunement. So you're already working on those levels of energy. When you are attuned, when you are not attuned, that energy still flows. It's just at a lower degree, and I'm going to call it just the best way I can kind of describe it is just Reiki. And connect in with that. Allow yourself to feel that energy. Allow yourself to connect in with that and feel that vibration. Feel that difference when you are cognizant or focused with it. That's why I said you really don't have to be attuned to do these particular meditations that we learned tonight. However, when you are attuned, there is a greater degree in the way that it reacts with you. Now, in closing, I would like to do the Gokai, and I know that I didn't add this on to the itinerary for the class this evening or for the workshop. However, the Gokai are our rules of engagement. It is how, if we said, what are the rules of Reiki? Well, we've got some little rules, but the major rules, the rules of engagement, are really simple. And the Japanese word for it is Gokai, Gokai. And we have some 5 simple rules. It's really, really easy. And when you say this particular meditation, it's normally said 3 times over. And you can do it in the morning, and I like to do my morning and evening. It's a good way to start my day and a good way to end my day, and it's really super simple. And we put our hands together, and it's just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I am grateful. Just for today, I work honestly, and just for today, I am kind. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I am grateful. Just for today, I work honestly. Just for today, I am kind. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I am grateful. And just for today, I will work honestly. And just for today, I will be kind. Repetition of 3. We say it in the morning and we say it in the evening. If you've taken a class with me, you'll have your little booklet. And if you've taken a recent class with me, it's in there about 4 times, 3 or 4 times. That is probably one of my more favorite. I think it is probably one of the most important meditations in Reiki, the Gokai, because we understand that it is just for today. I'm not going to hold on to yesterday, and I'm not freaking out about tomorrow. I am in the here and now, and these are my agreements for the here and now. If you break one of those agreements, guess what? Tomorrow is going to be a new day, and you begin that new day repeating the Gokai 3 times again. So, I hope you enjoyed this class. Let me know what you think. If you are planning on doing the online studies with me, we will be meeting up in Google Meet for the more private classes, so they're not going to be on Facebook Live where anybody and everybody can come in, but it will be on a Google Meet. I will post the link when I will have it posted by that day, if not sooner than that. My game plan is to have them scheduled up, and then that way you can connect in with that. And then if you are signed up, if you register with me and you miss that class, I will give you the link to watch that particular class. And again, this is interactive. I want you to give feedback. I want you to ask questions. That's why we have the comment section for you to do that. I do understand that Facebook is only keeping these videos for 30 days, and so I will be downloading this one and putting it up on YouTube. So if you know somebody that you want to turn them on to Shoden, show them the video. So have a beautiful evening, and I will see you next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Time, but it'll be in the Google Meet Sacred Space. But come back to this page, the Reiki Shoden group, Facebook group, and get your link and meet us over there. So have a beautiful evening, and thank you so much. I am grateful that you attended.